Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
So hold on, what is it?
Great. It's the sunroof.
Give us a minute.
1 second.
There we go. There, perfect. There. Alright, so today we're taking you guys with us to, we're going on a road trip to Fresno.
We're in the Starbucks line right now because,
of course, Starbucks.
She's gonna be on her second Starbucks already.
Honestly, Starbucks should just sponsor me already. Like, come on.
Starbucks addict.
Like, come on, you guys. Like, Starbucks should really sponsor me. But yeah. So I want to go to Morphe, and the closest one, it's Fresno, right? Well, it's like Fresno. The same with like the Bay Area.
Yeah. Cause I mean, there's Morphe here in Ulta's, but they don't sell like all the products.
Yeah, and then they're always out of stock of everything. Like everything. And there's the one in Santa Clara, but it's the same thing.
Distance.
But the thing is that it's the Bay Area, and the Bay Area, like, there's always hella traffic or whatever, so we just rather go that way. Yeah. Right? That way. Yeah.
Is it? Oh yeah, Fresno's that way. Yeah.
Bay Area is.
They can't see. They don't know where we're
at. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyways, for the white mocha, right? Excuse me.
At Starbucks again.
Oh my god.
It's gonna lock itself.
Oh my god. He already charged me, no matter, like. Thank you.
So I got a basic ass drink, a strawberry acai with lemonade, and
I got a white mocha.
Yeah,
this is like my Starbucks drink.
I cannot drink coffee. I mean, I'll drink it here and there once in a while, but I do not really fuck with coffee.
This is my second one today, you guys.
Yeah, that's your second one.
Decirles eso, like, really, dude.
Anyway, so we're on our way. It's an hour and a half from here. So, yeah, we'll see you guys when we get there.
Con él vas a casarte, tratas de hacerme sufrir para que un día llegue a verte, pero mientras más lo intentas, mi amor se hace más grande. Yo soy tu maestro, que supo enseñarte, fui el segundo en tu vida, pero el primero en amarte. ¿Cómo es posible que me digas que lo amas cuando yo sé que soy el dueño de tu cama?
So she's gonna get tested for the fluidity foundation.
I have to take off like this side of my foundation so I look weird.
The real her and then the fake her.
The real me.
Fake me.
You got a little bit more bronzer to it too, so you can see it outside.
So we're gonna give you guys a little bit of a story time since we're on the road, and we're gonna tell you guys about an accident we had about half a year ago, last year in August. Basically, we had an accident about half a year ago, and it was super eye-opening, I guess you can say. Like, really opened our eyes to how things can happen in a matter of seconds.
Like, in a second.
And things can happen to anyone at any time, anywhere. And, you know, you really need to think about your surroundings and what you're doing, and that there could be consequences to the things you do. And I think because of that, me and Tati are very conscious of that now. We're more careful with the things that we do.
Yeah, like, very careful. Well, like, yeah, like, we're just more like, how do I explain
cautious.
This? Like, we actually, like, cause during that time, we were kind of like, oh, it won't happen to us. Like, oh, no. That,
we're just
like, we didn't think of it. And then now it's kind of like, okay, like, anything can happen. Like, you know, now we're more like, we think things before we do things. Like, okay, anyways.
So then, to get straight to the point, we would go quad riding and razor riding, whatever you want to call it. If you don't know what a razor is, it's basically a quad, but just like a 4-seater one. And we would go riding a lot up into like hills in August of last year, and we decided to go ride quads with our friends up in this place called LaGrange. Neither me or Tati had ever been there before, so we didn't really know how it was. So then we decided to go. It's about a 45-hour drive away from where we live, from our house. And yeah, we went up there. And when we had first originally got there, I was a little bit more comfortable riding a quad. I had been practicing, I guess you can say, for a bit, so I kind of felt more comfortable riding the quad because there was dirt bikes and then there was razors or whatever.
Right to merge onto C899 North.
So then when I first got there, I started riding the quad, but then in that place there's a lot of rocks, a lot of hills, and I just kind of the quad kept turning off on me because I didn't really know how to like keep going when I was going down and like braking it and stuff without turning it off. So I decided to get off, and we decided to go on the Razor because our other friends were riding.
And the Razor seemed safe to us. Like,
yeah, the Razor seemed safe because
it's a 4-seater. Like, está más tapado. Like, you actually have a ceiling.
A roof, yeah.
Like, to me, it seemed safe. Like, it seemed like it wouldn't be that. And I feel like you wouldn't feel a bump or something like that as much on the Razor than you would on the quad. I mean, there's still like stuff to go riding, like 4-wheelers or whatever.
So then we both got on the quad. It was our friend driving it, and then it was me on the passenger seat. So then picture it this way, since we're in a car, this is our friend driving, this is me right here on the passenger. On this back side behind the driver was my sister, and then behind me was Tati. And so we were there literally for like probably like half an hour.
Yeah,
half an hour.
And we're counting for half an hour from like the time we were unloading the quads and everything to when we left. Okay, there's like a 30-minute span. Like, everything just is so fast. So we got on the Razor, and the driver was turning left to go. So he was turning left to go down a hill.
We were on top of a hill, so he was turning left to go down the hill.
And I remember telling him to go down there because another friend of ours had gotten there and I wanted to go say hi. So I was like, hey, you know, so and so got here, like, let's go, because I seen that person from on top. So I was like, oh, let's go down there and say hi. So when as he was making that turn, I don't know how or what, but the Razor, we didn't flip.
The Razor tilted.
It tilted, and we got it on the side.
We felt it tilt.
It was so crazy because to me it was like in slow motion.
Slow motion. Yeah. I swear, when things happen, like, it's quick, but to you in the moment, it's like, holy
yeah, like
shit.
I'm pretty sure people that seen us tilt, seen it like boom, you know.
Yeah.
But we saw it like, whew, like literally like so slow motion.
When I started to feel it tilt, I panicked. Of course, when you feel like you're in a car and like it's gonna flip or something. I've never been in a situation like that. Like, you know, you don't really think. You kind of just act.
It's like your instinct, like your reflex. It's a reflex.
So my instinct was to grab onto the side of the door. So I'm right here. So I'm grabbing onto the side of the door.
And obviously those things don't have like windows or anything. So
yeah,
like,
it's just the door. So I grabbed onto the door, and obviously it fell towards my side. So it fell towards my side.
So her finger was outside of the Razor.
My fingers were. So this is the door, and I went like this,
and I'm outside. If that makes sense. Yeah, like I'm the outside of the whatever. Anyways,
so it flipped, and my instinct was to grab onto the door. The door obviously landed on my hand. So then a Razor's pretty heavy, and then with 4 people inside of it, and with the force that it did when it flipped, it like smashed my hand. The door squished my hand, and when I looked down, I see a bunch of blood. And
okay, hold on. Let me. So we fell over, and I didn't move. Nothing happened to me. Like, literally, I had my seatbelt on good. So I literally, from how I was sitting straight, I literally was just sitting like this. So then Vanessa's sister, like, she wasn't wearing her seatbelt.
My sister, I don't know why.
It didn't work.
Did it not work?
Her seatbelt didn't work. It was somebody's seatbelt that didn't work, and it most likely was hers. So she flew over me. So I was sitting on her right side. So we fell to the right. She flew over me, I remember. And then she easily got out. Yeah, she hit her head, but she got up like that.
She hit her head. I remember somehow, I don't know why, like, looked back, and she hit her head on the floor, like on the dirt.
Yeah.
Because we were tilted already. And then what happened?
And then so I remember that. And then as soon as we like landed, we were like, I was like, Vanessa, Brianna, are you guys okay? And then next thing you know, I look at the floor on the dirt and I see blood drops. And I was like, oh my, and once I seen that, I was like, what the fuck? And I look at myself and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, this isn't my blood, like what happened? And then next thing you know, I hear Vanessa, like I wasn't looking at her, but I heard her. She's like, my finger. And I was like, what? And I turned, I remember I was on my right side and I turned to my left and I see her finger and I was like, oh my God, like I swear, I don't know what happened, like God gave me like some strength to not freak out, because it was like, and I was just like, and then everybody that was riding stopped, even people we didn't know, like they stopped and they were like, oh my God.
So when that happened, when we first fell, and then I see my sister, and then I just looked down and I see blood, and then that's when she says that she heard me crying. Like I started yelling because I was still stuck in, like I had a seatbelt, so I was stuck in, like hanging inside the car, and I started yelling like, get me out of here, get me out of here.
I remember that.
Like I was like, cause I mean everybody.
And those seatbelts, I don't even know how to work them, so I don't even know how. I think I was the last one out because I didn't know how to like take my seatbelt off.
And like there's people there, but they were not like close in reach to get to us like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, they had to run, people had to run to us or like, you know, drive to us, you know? So then I started yelling like, get me out of here, get me out of here. And I couldn't use both my hands because my other hand was like bleeding and it was in pain. It felt, oh my God, the worst pain in my life. So I grabbed my left hand and I just kind of like went like this and I untied myself and I kind of stood up, but I was still inside the razor. And then one friend like kind of like lifted me up out of there, and I glanced at my hand and I just see skin hanging, you guys. Like I don't even know if I should like explain how graphic it was, but it was just like,
yeah, like you guys are probably like, oh, it's just a finger. Like no, like have you guys ever seen a finger hanging? Like no,
like,
dude,
it was just like skin hanging and like there's blood all over. I at that moment I didn't know if it was just one finger, if it was my whole hand. I just seen blood and I was just like this. And then I like, for some reason when I think about it back to it, like I just remember like little parts because it all like happened.
It happened like that. It was
and I
so
remember
crazy.
when I first got out and some like people started running towards like, are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? And then some like, you know, random people, and then I seen this one guy and he looked at my hand. He's like, are you okay? And I looked around and then he looked at my hand because I was like holding it like this, and I remember his face expression was like,
yeah,
oh
and
my
then
God.
at that moment is when I was like, I looked at everybody around us and I was like, it's not that bad. I had to say that because I knew if I was like, if I freaked out, Vanessa, I mean, come on, you know?
When I seen that guy's face, I freaked out.
Yeah, she didn't want to look at her finger at all. And I was like, and I started telling everybody, I was like, it's not, I was giving them the eyes. I was like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Come on, Vanessa, let's go. You're fine. And then I grabbed her hand, like, kind of like this.
Yeah, she was
so
like balancing it.
I was balancing her hand, and we had to walk down the hill.
But
the thing is that you guys need to see that, like, the hills, obviously, when you're walking down, they're steep. So you're almost running down there. Okay, so we're running down there. At the same time, I'm thinking, there's dirt here. It's going to get hella infected. So I was like, what do I do? So we're like, okay, so we finally get down there, right? Do you remember this part?
Yeah, I remember I was like yelling on top of my lungs. I was yelling that. I was like, I need to go to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital. I need to go.
Como si no la íbamos a llevar, like.
Yeah, but at that moment, like, I'm just like I need to go. I need to go. And we couldn't call an ambulance because there was no service at this place. We're up in
literally like no. And honestly, I don't know why I had the thought, like, up till then, I always thought that 911 worked even though we didn't have no service. I don't know why I thought that. But that day, I freaking learned that it doesn't. Like, that's kind of stupid. I don't know if that's stupid of me, but I really thought that.
So then we get down to the truck, right? Because we have to get to the hospital. So then I'm crying and crying. And you guys, this pain I was feeling is like such an unexplainable pain. It's like my whole arm felt like it was on fire, but at the same time like falling asleep, like no sensation, but still in pain. And I'm crying and crying, you guys. And then
and so we got down there finally, and we couldn't find the keys. We couldn't find the keys to the truck. So we're like, what the? Imagine and in panic, like, we need the keys, so whatever. We finally get them, and we need to wrap her hand in something because her hand was literally bleeding. Her finger was. We weren't gonna have her finger just hanging, like, no. So she's like bleeding, and then Vanessa, we couldn't find nothing but a dirty work shirt in the back. So Vanessa's sister had to take off. I had a white shirt, so Vanessa's sister had to take her shirt off and put that dirty work shirt on, and we wrapped her finger in Vanessa's sister's shirt. Because if we would have wrapped in the dirty work shirt, that shit would have been like bad, like infected. So
there was already dirt as it was.
Yeah, and imagine in a dirty work shirt, I was like, no. When I seen it, I was like, we're not wrapping her finger in that. Like, heck no. Our friend's driving, and then Vanessa's in the. It's what do you call those? The cabin.
It's a truck that has like the 3 seats up in the front.
3 seats in the front, and then 3 seats in the back. So it's our friend driving, Vanessa in the middle, and me on that side.
The whole entire time I had her just like holding my hand.
She had her hand on my left thigh.
On her thigh.
Yeah. So the whole time.
And because and just any little movement, you guys, any little movement,
like anything, she would scream. She was like,
yeah, like I was screaming on top of my lungs. And at this point, you know, we're trying to get, we find the keys, and we're getting out of there, and I'm still yelling, and I'm panicking even more because I'm starting to feel the pain even worse, and I'm just like, I'm starting to hyperventilate, and we're all scared, we're all nervous, we're all like, oh my god, you know. And you were trying to call 911.
Yeah, so I was trying to call 911 this whole time. It wasn't going through. So we're like, all right. So keep in mind that in these hills, like to Sonora, like it's only a two. Like people are coming this way and we're going that way. So you can't arrebasar. Like you have to stay behind the car, because obviously if you go on the other lane, there's a car coming towards you. So I'm trying to call. So 911 would answer, and then I would lose signal, and then they would answer again, and then I would lose signal again. So then whatever, so we finally get a hold of 911, and I tell them like, hey, and they're like, oh, okay, we already know who you are, like we know you keep losing signal, like you guys need to stop somewhere, because obviously the ambulance can't be chasing us, you know. So we're like, okay, so we stopped somewhere, and I remember when we stopped, Brianna was like, I need to throw up. She's like, I need to throw up, I don't feel good. So I was like, okay. So then when Brianna got out, I don't know if she threw up or not, but then the ambulance finally got here.
Wait, but remember I remember that when she was on the phone with 911, they were asking her to like clean my wound, and I was like,
oh no, and Vanessa is she's stubborn as it is.
No, but you guys,
no, I know, listen, she's stubborn as it is, and then during this whole time, I was like, Vanessa, she was hyperventilating herself to the point where she was passing out. She was passing out, and she was telling me, she was like, I'm going to sleep, I'm falling asleep. And I was like, no, I was literally yelling like so loud at Vanessa so she won't go to sleep. I was yelling to, like, I've never like yelled at somebody like that. And I was like, Vanessa, you can't fall asleep. Because I remember okay, I kind of pay attention in school, okay? I remember in anatomy class they were telling us that when something like that happens, you're not supposed to let the person go to sleep. So when I was yelling at her, I was like, Vanessa, you can't go to sleep. And I was even moving her. I was like, dude, her head was like falling on me, and I remember going to her head like this. I was like, get up. And then so they told her like, oh, clean the wound. And I was like, I would even grab her hand, and she'd be like, no, don't touch me, this and that. And I'd be like, okay, well, she's not letting herself, you know, like we're like, she's not letting herself.
Okay, so, let me explain why. Let me give my version of why. Okay, you guys, obviously I'm hyperventilating, and she didn't want to let me fall asleep, and I'm like, my head just felt so lightheaded, you guys, hyperventilating. I'm like, I'm crying, and I'm like, you know, and I just, at that time, I'm telling them, you guys, like, let me faint, just let me faint, because I do not want to feel this pain right now. Like, I just wanted to sleep. Like, I would have wished I would have just fainted and just not felt that pain at that moment, because you guys, I had no anesthesia, no nothing, and the nearest hospital was 45 minutes away from us, and I'm in pain, you guys. I do not know how I did it 45 minutes with that pain. I really do not know. So obviously, you know, she's trying to keep me awake, and she wanted to clean my wound, but I'm telling you guys, when I'm telling you guys, any little movement hurt so bad that I would rather just like be dead at that moment, honestly. Like, just the pain, I could not take it. So then whatever, we pull over, and then that's when the ambulance gets there, and they basically look at the wound and they're like, you know, like, okay, like,
they're like, you're gonna be fine.
They're like, you're gonna be fine. I mean, I knew that I wasn't gonna die. I knew it was just my hand, but you know, I think maybe they were just kind of saying that too because, you know, because they told me that, you know, I was hyperventilating myself, and they said, you need to calm down because if not, you're gonna faint. So then I started breathing and slowing down my breathing. And they were like,
I remember I was like, breathe. I was like freaking coaching you. I was like, breathe in, breathe out. Like the whole way out. I remember, dude. Damn.
Like if I was like giving birth, like.
Yeah, I was like, breathe in, breathe out. I was like, dude, you're going to pass out. Like, that's not good. Like, because the lady, she's like, it's not good if she passes out. Like, I remember.
So then she's like, okay, come with me. And I'm like, at this time, I wanted Tati holding my hand the whole entire time. Like, I did not want her to let go of my hand. And there's like blood on her pants.
Yeah, there was blood on my jeans, on my shirt.
Going through the shirt.
Yeah, I remember the blood went through my jeans because when I got home, when I showered or whatever, I remember there was a little bit of blood on my leg.
And so then she's like, okay, they're like, okay, you know, come with us, come into the ambulance, we're gonna wrap it up, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, you know, can she come? And they're like, no. I don't know why. And whenever I tell people this, they're like, I don't know why they did that. And I'm like, I don't know either. But they did not want to let her go with me. They didn't want anybody to go with me. I said my sister. They were like, no, not even family. Like, it just has
she had to go. Yeah, I just
by
for
myself.
some reason it was just like.
And I'm panicking, you guys. I'm panicking. I'm panicking as it is. I do not want to go by myself. So I was like, I was so mad, and I was like, you know what? I'll go by myself. So I said no, and I shut the door, and I told them that I was gonna go with them, and I just told our friend, and I just said, keep driving, keep.